Hello, this is Breakfast with Christian Fraser and Babita Sharma.
The siege of a luxury hotel in Kabul has come to an end 12 hours after it was stormed by heavily armed militants.
Incredible sandcastles, and they truly are works of art, and that's pretty phenomenal, isn't it?
Amazing. I don't think I'd want to live inside it, but it's quite good nonetheless.
Especially if it doesn't rain. Let's just take a look at the papers for you this morning. We start with the Sunday Telegraph, which has an interesting story about Boris Johnson. The
that Corbyn allies want centrist candidates replaced with more left-leaning ones.
Yeah, and we'll have a look at the Observer this morning, which is talking about Theresa May's government that are planning as well. Gosh, it does set to be cold today, doesn't it?
It was cold on the way in this morning, yeah, wrap up warm. Now, the bit of blame game over the government shutdown in the United States could be over today. The Senate will be back in session to try and break the impasse on spending legislation.
Yeah, it all started when a bill to fund the federal government did not get the number of votes it needed by the deadline of midnight on Friday. Joining us now from Washington. For those of us that aren't familiar with the workings of the federal government, what is this shutdown all about? It is very costly, David, because time is money. The clock is ticking. What's the latest you're hearing about when this may be resolved? David, for the Trump administration and for Donald Trump himself. I'll be watching it very closely indeed. David, for now, thank you so much. David Smith there.
I have an alert system on my phone from his Twitter feed, and it's been buzzing through the night. I need to turn it off. It's kept me awake all night. A Twitter storm. And I can tell you who he's blaming. It's the Democrats, believe me. Right, we'll be back with the headlines at 6:30.
But for now, it's time for the film review with Jane Hill and Mark Commode. See you soon.
JJ is here with the sport. Busy
for becoming, I don't know, curling experts for a couple of weeks.
As long as we stay on two rails, we'll be, we should be good. JJ, thank you very much. Now, walk in the countryside, a simple activity that has inspired artists, writers and even the Prime Minister. Now, a 2004 trek taken by a group of men has been turned into a play.
Yeah, it's called Black Men Walking, and it covers a few miles in the Peak District, but 2,000 years of black history. Ali Fortescue put on her walking boots to meet the cast and the real men they portray.
Day for walking. It's nice and fresh, but it's very cold, Tomasz.
It is. And you're steady when you're walking, because, you know, we've also got some...
Hot, cold? I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Thomas. We'll be back with the headlines at 7.
But first, let's catch up with all the tech news with Click and here's Spencer and the team. Let's catch up with the weather, shall we? It's a cold one, isn't it? Morning, Thomas.
Cold enough for you?
Oh, wow. Too cold.
Lower?
Yeah, I mean...
Thank you. We can't wait.
Wrap up
warm indeed.
If you are going out today, it is cold out there. Last year, women around the world held protests on the first day of Donald Trump's presidency.
Marching again. One of the events will be a rally opposite Downing Street. Let's speak now to Sholem. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Talk us through what's happening today. Huge numbers at some of these protests in America. I think we can show you just some of those scenes there. Are you hoping to attract large numbers like that here in London? Loads of numbers of people coming out in support of this. But how much has changed in the last 12 months about what you've been calling for? I think perhaps get confused as to what exactly you're calling for and asking for with the hashtag Time's Up and hashtag Me Too. Talk us through that. Okay. Downing Street, you're heading through to Parliament in London, calling for a change in legislation or what needs to be passed in law. What exactly are you hoping to achieve?
What we are trying to...
We'll continue on the news channel, but for now, for our viewers on BBC One, goodbye.